I ordered a sandwich from Adams this morning. So I was like, could do the responsible thing and get just like a bacon, egg, and cheese, like, as one would do for breakfast. But I decided to live on the wild side. So I looked through the specialty sandwich menu and I ordered the bomb.
Oh no.
Are you familiar with what's on the bomb?
No, but I can imagine.
So it starts off with chicken cutlet, as most great sandwiches do. Uh, Atop that is Swiss cheese, and then bacon, and then onion rings, and then gravy. Now, the standard sandwich at Adams comes on a roll, but I mean, that's kind of some weak shit. So I decided to opt for the hero. So we've had a difficult morning, but we're getting through it. It's a great sandwich. But
Nice.
oh, I didn't compile any news, so I'm just gonna like look through my Twitter feed.
Oh no. You froze.
Oh yeah, we're talking Spider-Man today. Oh,
That face.
am I back?
Yes.
Oh no, you're frozen.
Oh no.
Okay. Let me see if I could like switch my Wi-Fi to a different one. Hopefully this doesn't shit the bed.
These stills are great. Okay, you're back.
Okay, we're good. Okay, you seem to be moving again. Okay. All right, let me check out Instagram. Okay. Anyway, I can't find any news. So I'm just gonna go off shit that I remember. Um, First thing is the thing I sent you yesterday. Michael Keaton is gonna be Batman in the Batgirl movie.
So is it taking place in that universe or is it in the DCEU? Do we know?
I would imagine the consequences of the Flash movie is that it ends up combining a bunch of shit. So Michael Keaton is now Batman in the DCEU.
Interesting.
That's the way I think it's gonna go.
So
It'd
you
be
think we're
weird
gonna
if
get
it's.
Terry McGinnis?
I doubt it. Like if it was like old Batman in the future, I would say almost definitely. But since it's old Batman in the modern day, I don't want Batman Beyond in the modern day.
Fair.
Like I want them to go full like Neo Gotham. So
Maybe we'll get Jace Fox.
yeah. Yeah, I love Michael Keaton. So I'm never gonna complain about seeing him in more stuff. Excuse me.
It's the bomb.
That's the bomb coming up. Yeah, I just told you like I rewatched Batman Returns the other day, which is a phenomenal movie, and yeah, he's great in that, and he's great in most things. So I hope they just like do him justice.
Same.
I think like we noticed like from some set photos that like they're making Barbara a cop again, which is so uninteresting because it worked so well with Titans.
Did you finish that?
No,
Yeah, I don't plan on it. I'm not wasting my time.
like I know what happens in the end,
I don't,
but it's
and I don't care to know.
oh, what a show, Titans! What a show. Season 4 confirmed though
Stupid people.
somehow. Uh, anyway, uh, there are those Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania MODOK rumors that are going around, which I'm very excited about. The rumors that Corey Stoll will be coming back, that had been kind of leaked like months prior, but now instead of Yellow Jacket, he'll end up being MODOK.
It's kind of funny, not gonna lie.
John, I love that idea so much. I just want like a proper like aim in the MCU
Mm-hmm.
because like we don't have Hydra anymore, so we need like a de facto villain science group, and
Right.
I mean AIM fits that perfectly. Just have him take over where Guy Pearce left off in Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I really hope that rumor's true because it's nuts.
He's also a good actor.
He is, yeah, he's really good. I hope they nail the MODOK design. I hope they just commit to like fully
Big
making
head.
it like enormous head, tiny body strapped into a toilet. Because like the Avengers game kind of copped out a little bit. His head isn't that big, and he's just like a dude sitting in a chair.
Didn't
So it's a little lame.
didn't get to the end of that game.
I mean, like the story that they do for MODOK is kind of cool. Like the campaign isn't the problem with that game, but the character designs in general are pretty shithouse in that game.
Considering, yeah, I don't want to go on a rant because I will.
Has there been any new game stuff? There was a Wonder Woman game announced.
Okay, good for
Yeah,
her.
they announced it at the Game Awards a couple weeks ago. So that's exciting. I forget who the developer is, but it's not any of the ones that have been doing it. Like it's not Rocksteady or WB Montreal.
Right.
They showed off some more gameplay footage for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
I saw that.
So that was pretty fun. Still a little confused on what's going on there, just because Captain Boomerang again has a gun.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It looks like they all have guns. Like King Shark has like a machine gun. Like what the? That's frustrating. And Gotham Knights. Those are both supposed to come out in 2022.
Ooh.
Um,
I'm not buying either. I have no interest. I will watch the cutscenes.
uh, I want them to announce a Guardians of the Galaxy sequel because that game was fantastic.
Why that game isn't co-op, I don't understand.
It doesn't need to be.
Okay.
It would just like it's already perfect as is. Like because it is like a Star-Lord story, and you just play as
Okay.
Star-Lord. But like
That makes
if you
sense.
if you had other stuff like weighing it down, I'd rather them do one thing really, really well than try to juggle like 50 mediocre things.
I wonder if they're gonna do like if they do a sequel, that will it be like a Drax story, and then you
Well,
just get to play as Drax.
it's funny you mention that because a lot of the focus in this game is on Drax.
Mm,
Like he feels a lot more prominent than he does in the movies,
right.
and like without kind of spoiling anything, like you kind of go into like a lot of his backstory and like what happened with his family and stuff like that.
Interesting.
It's a really great game. Like I think I prefer this version of the Guardians to the movie Guardians.
Hmm.
Um,
I'll have to watch the cutscenes.
watch the cutscenes, but I definitely recommend if you're at all interested in playing it, like it's definitely worth playing because the gameplay is really fun too. Um, I saw a rumor this morning as I was doing my daily sweep through the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit. I saw a rumor that Marvel is developing an Annihilators project. So that would be the team consisting of Silver Surfer, Quasar, Gladiator, Ronan the Accuser, who's dead, so probably not him. I think Nova is on the Annihilator sometimes. Probably. Um, but yeah, there's something in the works with the Annihilators. So
That'd be cool. I just hope they're not introducing too many people too quickly.
yeah, I assume these are all characters we'll see like in advance. And like if they do end up bringing back Ronan somehow, like we already know Ronan, so that's one down. And if my baseless speculation is correct that Silver Surfer is in Guardians 3, that's another one down. Again, I have absolutely nothing to base this on. I don't even know if I've said it on the podcast yet, but I've convinced myself that we will see the Silver Surfer in Guardians 3.
That'd definitely be interesting. I want to see Nova, and I want his perspective of Thanos destroying Xandar.
Yeah.
Because I know it's gonna happen. It's gotta happen.
I think Nova is funny because his name is Richard Rider, and he can have a nickname where his name is just Dick Rider. I think that's good. I wouldn't be surprised if they also want to maybe do Sam Alexander.
Yeah, but don't skip Richard Rider.
Yeah. That's another one that everyone's like, get John Krasinski for it.
Ooh.
Richard Rider. That's everyone's like, if he can't play Reed Richards, which he's not going to play Reed Richards, get him to play Richard Rider.
I like that.
Which would be cool. There's a lot of fun references to Richard Rider in the Guardians game. Like you, at one point, you go to the collector's like museum on Nowhere, and like apparently Richard Rider just like left his helmet there with the collector, just like as a joke to like leave the Nova hive mind to like scream in silence.
That's kind of funny
because he was sick of it. So he's kind of like a rogue now. You never actually meet him, but there's like a lot of references to him. So they touch a lot of bases in that game, which is really cool. Like a lot of Marvel cosmic stuff and just references to stuff in general. And it's pretty definitively not connected to the Avengers game, which is some good stuff. Like in the Collector's Museum it's just Easter egg after Easter egg. Like the Ultimate Nullifier is in there. I want to say like some of Doctor Strange's stuff is in there. A weird amount of stuff from Earth, but I think maybe like Doom's mask is in there or something. A whole bunch of cool stuff. Yeah. I remember hearing that there were some like Fantastic Four casting rumors. My favorite one was that Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia was going to be Reed Richards, which it's perfect because have you ever seen It's Always Sunny?
I watched the first episode and was like, this is a lot. I'm not interested.
Yeah, he's in the show. He's like a psychopath. Like he's an absolute lunatic. So he's perfect for Reed because Reed Richards sucks. Seth Rogen was rumored for The Thing, which is always my top choice.
Interesting.
I mean, he has a deep voice and he's Jewish, so it's ticking 2 boxes already. Um, I forget who Johnny was, but Kristen Bell from The Good Place was Sue Storm, which I like a lot.
I like that a lot.
That's a good choice. It's out of the box. It's not everyone casting Emily Blunt and everything. I
want
really
Zac
hope.
Efron to play Human Torch.
Yeah, but I kind of want them to go a little younger. Like maybe around, maybe a little bit older than Kate Bishop.
Okay.
Because Kate Bishop's like 22 in the show.
Yeah, we're the same age. It's so interesting. I'm like, wow, I'm the same age as a character in Marvel. First.
That's all I can think about news-wise. Do you want to talk about Hawkeye a little bit before we get into the Spider-Man?
We can. Did you see it?
I did, yeah.
And your thoughts? Because
Okay. Hawkeye spoilers for basically everything. So if you haven't watched everything, just kind of skip ahead or plug your ears. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not putting a timestamp in.
The show as a whole, pretty disappointed. I don't know. It didn't do enough of anything for me. It does the same Disney Plus Marvel show shit of like set up a lot of really interesting stuff in the first episode, immediately forget about half of that stuff, tease a surprise villain, and then scramble to try to tie up every single plot line in the finale.
Fair. But I enjoyed it. But there are two things. There were two things I didn't like, and that one is fine. If they killed the Kingpin,
They didn't.
which I'm assuming, but if they did, I'm very upset.
They didn't.
I fucking hope so. And
Trust
then
me, they did not kill Kingpin.
no, I agree with you, but it's the not knowing that bothers me.
Yeah.
And then what was it? I didn't like the whole watch thing, but now I kind of understand the watch thing.
So she's Agent 19,
Yes.
who in the
And
comics is Mockingbird.
yes, which I just learned today.
But I don't think that she's Mockingbird. I think they're just kind of separating Agent 19 from Mockingbird.
Maybe.
Because they would have said definitively if like, oh, she was Mockingbird. But
Maybe she was, and they just didn't say it.
I think they're not going to reference Mockingbird anytime soon.
Probably
just
not.
because of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Probably not.
Um,
But I think because at first I was like, "What the fuck was the watch then?" And then I was talking to my friend Sam about it, and then he, because I said, because like I realized it like while we were talking, I was like, "Oh, if she's a Shield agent, that shows like her family and everything, and it makes sense because Maya was studying the family, and if she knew the watch was hers, then it would show like where they were, blah, their cover, blah 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 blah." I was like, now it makes sense, and it also makes sense as to why she was so okay with everything that was happening.
Yeah.
And how she had all these resources and was able to look everything up. So that was fine. I wasn't happy about it at first because like, really, this is all the watch was hers. And then I was like, actually, it makes a lot of sense.
Because they would mention it like once an episode and be like, oh, mystery.
Yeah.
And then just forget about it.
Because you know what I thought it was? I thought it was like Tony Stark's like watch from.
Yeah, I saw that theory.
And then I was just like, oh, that is, you don't want them to have that.
Yeah, that would have been kind of cool.
But
I
like that. I like the show overall. I enjoyed it. Them quote unquote shooting air quotes shooting Kingpin bothered me because I was like, you could have just had her leave.
It was a weird thing to do because like presumably a lot of the Echo Disney Plus show is going to be about her relationship with Kingpin, and I presume he's going to be like the main villain of that.
Right.
So it was weird to do this like fake like wrap up to that story in this show.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It's also weird. It's a weird way to reintroduce Kingpin. First of all, I loved his outfits.
Yeah.
I loved how his fit got more insane as the episode progressed. Like it started off like you have like the classic like purple pants, white jacket in the opening, and he's got the cane, which I loved. Um, and it's like that's pretty classic Kingpin. But then later on, you see him and he's got like full white suit and a red Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
was like, what the fuck?
oh, okay. And then at the end of the episode, he has that same suit on, red Hawaiian shirt,
And then a
a
hat.
massive white overcoat, and a white fedora, and he looks insane. One thing I did appreciate though, the cufflinks he was wearing, they're the same cufflinks from the Daredevil show,
Oh, are they actually?
which
Did
those
not
those,
pay that
those are
close
like a
attention.
big plot point for him, like because they were like his
Oh,
father's
right.
cufflinks.
Right.
Um, so that's really cool. I really appreciate that.
That makes sense. I just haven't seen Daredevil in a while,
Yeah,
so I didn't catch it.
yeah,
Um, I enjoyed it. I liked it overall.
yeah,
I liked the Yelena Clint like reconciliation.
yeah. It's weird that like everything except the Black Widow movie has done a good job of being like a send off for Black Widow.
Yeah, right. Like,
Because like this did it really well. What If did it really well. What If was probably like the best send off for that character, even if it wasn't specifically that character.
yeah,
Um, but it just makes the end of the Black Widow movie so much more stupid.
yeah,
I don't know. I thought Kingpin like was like performance wise, he was great throughout the episode.
yeah.
Like he was doing a good job just being Kingpin.
I felt he was a little like shaky
Well,
physically.
he was like that, like
He's like
because
twitching a lot.
he's very awkward in like the Daredevil show. So that like you see that like twitchiness like in him a lot. So it was cool to see that like kind of carry over. But you also get the idea that like he's if this is connected, he's a lot more confident as the Kingpin than he was by the end of Daredevil.
Right.
So
That's if that show is connected. Who
yeah,
knows what the fuck's going on?
which I'm beginning to think that it is just connected.
Yeah.
Like there's some like stylistic changes. Like Kingpin is a lot bigger in this. Like not like comic book like wall big, but he's a lot bigger than he was in the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah. I just really hope they don't like fuck up everything good that those Netflix shows did.
Part of me is like fine with them being connected, and part of me is just like just start over. Because then you have to you don't necessarily have to explain, but like what year did the last season come out? 2016, 2018?
Uh, yeah, I want to say maybe 2018.
So it's like you have to basically explain where was he during Infinity War? Where was
But you
he?
don't though.
You do, but you don't. You know what I mean? Like you just like it's just kind of like where were you?
Like that's the thing I'm sick of with a lot of this MCU shit is like you don't have to explain where everyone was at all times. Like that's one thing I appreciate about Eternals is like they just like brush over it. It's just like we weren't supposed to interfere, so we didn't. And then you just don't talk about it for the rest of the time.
Right, and like that's fair, and I get that but and I agree they don't need to like go into it deep, but like because I feel like the whole blip thing they shot themselves in the foot a little bit because now they're kind of like because everyone's just gonna every time a character is introduced, it's the question of where they blipped is gonna come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just
Not
getting
even
to a
just
point
by
where
like
like I just
the
don't care if a character was or not.
yeah, and some people don't, but like a lot of people do, especially if they're like introduced right after. So I feel like maybe in maybe not like 5 years max, people won't care. But like right now, people are gonna care.
Yeah,
Like I
and
kind of care.
like honestly, I'm just more concerned with them like making a good show or a good movie as opposed to like frantically trying to tie everything together. Because
I agree.
I feel like you sacrifice a lot of quality by trying to like play connect the dots all the time.
I agree, but I also like it also depends because if the characters were introduced beforehand and they weren't whatever, like Yelena they needed to, in my opinion, because she was introduced in the year of 2016, even though it was really 20. You get what I'm saying. Like we first
Yeah.
meet her character in 2016, so they kind of have not have to explain, but they're like, well, why wasn't she in Infinity War? Why wasn't she here? Why wasn't she that? So like that made sense to me because then you're just like, well, what were they doing all this time if they were introduced all the way back then? Like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Explanation wise, like you're right. They don't need to explain everyone's thing with that, but for her at least, I felt it was necessary.
Yeah. I feel like if like by the end of next year, if they're still talking about Thanos and they're still talking about the snap in every single MCU thing, I'm gonna be so frustrated.
That's
Because
the
it
thing
just
though. I think they're going to because they're doing so many different characters. It's
it
not like they're
just
just sticking to like the core six anymore, where it's like, okay, we talked about it, we're over it. They're gonna be like, we haven't seen Thor's perspective from after this. We haven't seen, okay, we've seen some of Doctor Strange, which is Spider-Man, but like, I'm trying to think of what's coming out next year. Like, we haven't seen the Guardians or Thor since Endgame, so like that, it's still gonna be referenced in that, especially with Gamora and everything with the Guardians in Infinity War and Endgame. Like, that's gonna be talked about a lot.
yeah, I like I'm more okay with the Guardians and Gamora thing because like that feels like another step removed from everything because like that's just focusing on like okay, there's another Gamora as
Right.
opposed to just like everyone's sad because we were gone for 5 years.
Right. Well, you got to think about it. That's an impactful event.
Yeah, but like I don't need to see it explored in every single TV show and movie that comes out.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, Loki didn't really do it.
And I'm grateful for that. That's why I like Loki so much. But I don't know. It just it makes the universe feel so small when everybody's talking about the same thing.
Right.
It's just a little you're limiting the fun stories you can tell if you're trying to tell the same one for every character.
Right.
Because like how many different reactions can people feasibly have like to Endgame? Like they were sad.
Right. Fair enough.
I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Let's talk about Spider-Man.
Everyone died. Yo, fuck this movie.
Fuck this. Do we want to do any like non-spoiler
No,
preamble
fuck that.
stuff? All right. Okay, so this is like full Spider-Man No Way Home spoilers from this point on. If you haven't seen the movie, get out. Come back later when you watch the movie.
Respectful.
Respectful. Um, I'm kind of glad we're not doing non-spoiler talk because there's nothing in this movie that you cannot spoil. It's from the get-go. It's just like throwing shit at the wall.
Yeah.
um, I don't even know like where to start.
Okay. What was with the astral form? Why would like I've been racking my brain trying to figure out why he was able to move around.
Spider sense.
No, but not like his physical body, like his astral like form.
Oh, like why could his ghost body move around?
Yeah. Well, I guess he could normally just do that, I
Yeah,
guess.
you can just do that if you're in natural form.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, because Doctor Strange fought a guy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. But yeah, the other thing I got that was the physical. I was like, that's spider sense moving
yeah.
in
Which was
front of you.
cool. I like that. That was a fun little touch.
You shouldn't be able to do this. Fuck you, guy.
Um, let's run through like the basic plot of the movie, and that could maybe guide us a little bit more. So opens up from the end, the post-credit scene from Far From Home. Mysterio has revealed Peter Benjamin Parker's identity as Spider-Man to the world, and everything's on the fritz. He can't get into college. His friends can't get into college by association. Um, Flash Thompson keeps trying to be his friend. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna talk to my wizard friend and see if he can get everyone to make see if he can get everyone to forget that I was ever Spider-Man. The wizard agrees. He's like, yeah, I'm down. But Peter keeps trying to make like exceptions to the spell. So he's like, yeah, make everyone forget, but not MJ or Ned or Happy or May. And then the spell gets all fucked up, and cracks in the multiverse emerge, and it starts pulling in everyone from every universe who knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So that includes Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2, the Green Goblin from Spider-Man 1, Sandman from Spider-Man 3, Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, and Electro from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, the Sinister Five.
Could have easily put Venom in. Easily.
Nah.
It would have been a lot, but they could have just put him in for the fight scene. Just be like, I have arrived.
But like Venom is
Spider-Man. That would have been fine. And then he still could have left the symbiote. Could have just rubbed off on Peter, and then we see it later.
Venom's he's too popular a character to just throw in as like a, because they wouldn't have given him. They basically only focus on like 3 villains in this movie. They focus on Electro, Doc Ock, and Green Goblin.
All right, you're not wrong. However, I would like to see. I'm okay. I'm not really. I don't really care if we didn't see it. Like, it doesn't like affect me in my opinion of the movie. It pisses me off that they made it like such a big post-credit scene to just throw it away, just for the part of his symbiote to be in the MCU, and that's what annoys me about it. It's like, don't get my hopes up for that they're gonna like meet and fight in the way that you're alluding to, and then you're just like, oh no, fuck you guys. It's just a symbiote saying, like, I'm elated that we're getting an MCU Venom because that means we're gonna do it differently, and it's not just gonna be Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock. Like, we'll get like an actual Eddie Brock. Not that he's not an actual Eddie
Excuse
Brock.
me.
Not that he's not an actual Eddie Brock, but we'll get the conflict between him and Peter instead of it being like some weird. Like,
I don't think MCU's doing Eddie Brock. I don't think they would dare to infringe on.
I think it depends. I think it depends on when they decide to do Venom. Because say they only do a Venom trilogy and we're done by 2024. If they only do Venom in like 2028, they might be like, all right, it's been 4 years. Let's do Eddie Brock.
I think they're going to end up doing another like crossover down the road. Like, that's more just a Sony thing where they'll have Venom, they'll have Tom Holland, they'll have Andrew Garfield, they'll have Tobey Maguire. Hopefully they'll bring back my boy Topher Grace as the real Eddie Brock. I was going to
make a joke saying that he should have been in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just like they'll 100% like they'll do like the King in Black storyline with Null. They'll do that, but it's just going to be a Sony thing.
I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't know. We're gonna have like 2 more Spider-Verse movies, but probably by that time. So I don't know if I want to see another live-action Spider-Verse.
Well, it's going to be more of like it's going to be more of a Venom focused thing.
Maybe.
I bet Venom 3 will be Venom versus a Spider-Man.
We'll see.
I 100% bet. What was I going to say? Yeah, I don't think they're doing Eddie Brock in the MCU. I think they'll do Peter gets the symbiote, and then I think what they might do is give it to somebody who was teased in an earlier movie and we have yet to see. I think they'll give it to Scorpion.
Ooh, because I was talking to my friends and they're like, "Oh, maybe Flash will just get it," and I'm like, he's got to like earn it. He's got to like earn
Not
my.
this Flash.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like this Flash very much, and he's
Yeah.
got to like earn that shit like as a character.
I like this
So
Flash,
I
but
like
he's
it
not comic
as
book Flash.
I know,
Yeah,
like I don't respect this Flash at all.
I do.
Um,
He's a hustler.
I think he's funny, but he's not Flash Thompson.
He would be
He's not
so
the Flash
into.
Thompson I want.
If I knew him in real life, he would be so into crypto.
Yeah. Okay, so say they do college, right? And he gets to know Flash during college. Like if we see more of Flash and we get to know him, maybe his character changes a little bit.
And he joins the army.
Yeah, essentially, yes. If this Flash joins the army, I'll have more respect for him.
Imagine this
But
Flash getting his legs blown off.
well, that's what I'm hoping. Like going through something like that like changes people. So that's why I just like I'd like to see this Flash grow into a different thing.
I would
But
rather them do
I
something unique and do
I'm
Matt
fine
Gargan.
with Scorpion getting it.
Yeah, I think Matt Gargan will get the symbiote. I think
And
he'll
maybe
start off
Flash will
as
get it later down the line, but
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I think Matt Gargan is a solid. We should get him to do it first.
and like it's already established, like he has like the hatred for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think it could be interesting as opposed to just doing Eddie Brock a third time.
Because I don't know if you saw, you probably did. Sorry, got something. When they were showing the people in the sky,
One of them is
I
Scorpion.
saw Scorpion, Rhino, and
Craven.
Kraven.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
It was like an actual rhino because he had like the rhino head.
Yeah, like the big horn. Yeah.
That
I mean,
was
not
such a
to
good scene. Like, what are the
not,
craziest villains you fought? Like, I've just fought a Russian man in a rhinoceros machine.
yeah.
Andrew Garfield was a gem in this entire.
He was
movie.
Oh yeah, so Andrew Garfield's in this movie, as is Toblerone Maguire. And they're both great. Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, I feel.
I was talking to my friend Sam about it, and he like literally today, and he was kind of like, in regards to the quippiness, it's like Tom Holland's just kind of like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, like what's happening? Like, oh my gosh. And then
Yeah, he's
Tobey
just like a
Maguire's
goof.
not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield is just like annoying like the villain and just like
Yeah.
jabbing at them verbally. And I was like, I agree. So Andrew Garfield was my favorite.
Yeah, 100%.
I think they're all phenomenal actors. I haven't seen the Sam Raimi trilogy in a long time, but so I don't really remember them. But Andrew Garfield is what I kind of grew up with and is my favorite. But that could change because we're now going to get a more down to earth street level Spider-Man, in my opinion.
Yeah, which I'm very happy about that they fixed a lot of my problems that I have with MCU Spider-Man.
Me too, because I think we have the same problems with him.
Because he's like he gets away with a lot of shit.
What do you mean?
Like they never really jump into the idea of like with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
And they hammer the fuck out of it in this movie.
Yeah. Now, I have a theory. That there was no Uncle Ben. That maybe Aunt May was just single and was given, because think about it. If there was an Uncle Ben for this Peter Parker, right? Now, I could be wrong. There's nothing saying that I'm right, really. But both Andrew and Toby mention Uncle Ben, and he has no reaction to it, the mention of Uncle Ben. He doesn't even say my Uncle Ben was just like similar. Like he makes no acknowledgement of an Uncle Ben in his life. It's just May. And there is no acknowledgement to Ben in general in the MCU except for what if.
What if is the only MCU thing that references Uncle Ben. Yeah.
And that's why I have the theory of that there was never an Uncle Ben. But the only thing going against that theory, in my opinion, is in Civil War when he says, when you can do the things that I can and you don't, people get hurt.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's like alluding to Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
But that could honestly be anyone. He could have just seen someone get hit by a bus and not done anything about it. And he could have been like, oh, I could have done something. But Who knows? We don't know if there was an Uncle Ben. There's no confirmation. There's no for either side. So that's my theory.
From what I remember, in Far From Home, Peter's suitcase has the inscription, the initials BP on it for Ben
Oh,
Parker. That's
okay.
aside from What If, that's about as concrete as we have, though.
Okay, I have to watch that again. I
Yeah,
believe you.
yeah.
So
There
that
was
goes
also
against my theory.
there was also a deleted scene from Homecoming where Peter's prom suit, like Aunt May says, was Uncle Ben's.
I don't get why they just weren't like the fuck.
I don't know. I don't get why you would cut that. It's a nice little thing.
Because also too, technically, her grave was wrong. Because normally, if someone passes, they're on the front, and then their spouse is on the back, right? Or am I wrong? Am I
But
wrong?
they have like a double sided tombstone.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they just put it on the one stone, or they
Maybe
give
that's
them
just
two
my
stones.
grandparents. Wait, what?
I think they just put it on the same side of the one stone, or they just do two stones. No,
Am I stupid?
I've
Well,
never seen a
my
double.
grandfather's also in a military
Huh.
uh cemetery. He's in Calverton. So I'm wondering if maybe it's just there, and maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm wrong.
Yeah, I've
Maybe
never
I've
seen a
been
double.
hallucinating
Never
that.
seen a double sided tombstone before.
No, yeah. I'm pretty sure my grandparents have a double-sided one. My
Huh.
grandmother's in the back, my grandfather's in the front.
Hmm.
Because I've also seen it like it's right next to each other. So
Yeah,
that's my other thing is like, why is she not near Ben?
yeah.
Like they don't show like they show the graves and they're like farther apart. So you'd think that hers would be right next to Ben.
Maybe Ben was cremated,
Mhm.
but he would still have a tombstone.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, I
You don't
guess.
need to get a tombstone in a cemetery because then you have to buy the whole plot,
Yeah, that's true.
which they could have done, but that doesn't mean that they did a cemetery.
Or maybe because they were so poor, they only had enough money for one plot, and Ben was like, if we both die, May, you can have it. I'll get cremated.
True. And cremation is proven to be cheaper as per Mr. Frank Gambino in his Death and Afterlife class.
Okay.
No, we literally did it. We went over like the costs. So I have like a record of like how at like the average funeral costs.
Lovely.
What a
Uh,
turn this is taking. Yeah. You know
um,
what's oh, you know what I really the fact that you said it focuses on three villains primarily. They're the three that die, and Sandman and Lizard don't die.
that's true.
So that kind of makes sense. They focus on the ones that ended up getting killed
Yeah,
rather than the
yeah.
others.
Doesn't make a lot of sense because I don't think Electro ever finds out that Peter is Spider-Man in the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, he doesn't. Well, that's why he has that conversation with him in No Way Home.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
he's the only one that doesn't know that didn't find out that Peter Parker was Spider Man,
yeah.
except for Rhino.
um,
Real shame we didn't get Dane DeHaan.
it's a real shame we didn't get Paul Giamatti. My man, he would have killed it in this movie.
You know what's actually kind of interesting? I don't know if they say Norman's name in front of Andrew Garfield, but you'd think like Osborn, he'd see a glider and like
Yeah,
maybe a flashback to Gwen. And who knows, maybe if those rumors of Andrew Garfield wanting to do more Marvel projects is true, maybe we'll show his mindset throughout No Way Home. Like maybe he does have a flashback.
yeah.
But that was so I teared up like 8 times during this movie.
I like the MJ catch was something that like everyone predicted, but it was still a nice moment.
Yeah, I'm glad they did it.
Yeah,
I
and
heard
like the
someone in the theater yesterday because I saw it again yesterday, and I heard someone go, "Oh no, not Andrew getting her," and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!"
let him have it.
Yeah. Yesterday, my theater experience yesterday. I'm not gonna get into it, but it was soured from before I got in the theater by a Karen, and then just continued over to the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Like him and Toby kind of both had their own little like redemption moments where like he's able to save MJ and Toby is able to like stop Norman from getting stabbed.
Yeah.
So that was a nice moment. And then he got stabbed by Norman.
I kept having thoughts. I was like, are they gonna kill
They don't
both
have
or
the
either?
balls to kill Toby Maguire.
No, I thought like maybe they'll kill both of them, or they'll kill Andrew or I was like, are they gonna kill one of them? Are they gonna kill both of them? Are they gonna kill none of them? And then when he got stabbed, I was like, people are gonna be pissed if they kill him, and then they don't kill him. So it worked out.
They don't have the balls to kill the most beloved fictional character of all time.
How did Spider-Man 3 end with him and MJ?
They're kind of not together ish because
Okay,
he
so
hit
that's
her that one time.
fine.
In Spider-Man 3, when he has the symbiote, he like backhands her in the club
Oh yeah,
because he's
when
a
they
like,
dance, right?
yeah, oh yeah, right after they dance.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 is the one I remember the most.
It's my favorite one.
Is it actually or
It
no?
is, yes. I love Spider-Man 3.
I've never seen the beginning of it.
Oh, it's
So for the
perfect.
Sam Raimi trilogy, I've seen the first one, but it was when I was younger, so I don't remember it. Sandman 2. Spider-Man 2, I saw in like high school. I don't remember a lot of it. I do remember like the plot points and everything, but and then Spider-Man 3, I've seen from like a certain point and on. Can I tell you what that certain point is? No, because I don't remember it. But I've seen a lot of it, and I've
I,
never
I
seen the beginning.
I still think Spider-Man 2 is like the best Spider-Man movie. Like I like it's between that and Spider-Verse. Um I need to rewatch Spider-Verse because that's a good time. But yeah, I don't know. This is probably like if I had to rank them, this is like number 3 or 4, No Way Home.
Interesting. I think it might be my top between this and Spider-Verse. Because Spider-Verse was good, but it didn't make me want to cry.
It's fair.
Far From Home is up there as well.
Um
But which full circle, that's the one this whole podcast started on. It is
Speaking of which, do you remember in our very first episode, the Far From Home review, I made I gave a pitch for my proposed Spider-Man 3 movie
okay.
where you would have the Kingpin as the main villain. Peter would be hunted by Craven and Bullseye,
Right. It
and his lawyer
was Matt Murdock.
would be Murdoch. Oh shit! Yeah, my mic got disconnected.
Yeah, because I heard Murdoch.
Yeah. So I called that shit like before there were even any rumors. Day one, I called that shit. So I'm feeling pretty vindicated.
I also love that he fucking caught the brick
Oh my
and
god, it
just like
was
were they all just accepted that him being a really good lawyer was a good answer.
they got other stuff to worry about. My god, it was so good seeing him back.
Yeah.
Seeing
Was
him
it?
and
There was
Kingpin back in
a
the same week.
there's a rumor that he might have the yellow suit in
I've
this
heard that
movie.
rumor.
I love that Kevin Feige was like, we don't know when, we don't know where, but
Yeah.
he's coming back. I was like, you fucker, he's coming back soon. I was like, he's coming back soon. You know what he's in, and I didn't want to say it was Spider-Man, but it was. I was like, you
I'm
fuck.
so happy he's back. Like this is all I've ever wanted from a Spider-Man movie was to have Matt Murdock as his lawyer.
Mhm.
And I got that. Like if this movie was just Daredevil and Spider-Man teaming up, this would have been the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
Not that all three Spider-Men being in the same movie.
No, honestly, Matt Murdock. Like Man, so happy to see him.
It was very nice. I was like, no fucking way they did it. And they did it.
I'm so pissed we didn't get a courtroom scene.
That would have been cool. And I love too, he was like, he didn't have the confidence in himself that he could fucking defend Happy. He's just like, you're gonna need a really good lawyer. I was like, you're a really good lawyer. Like, what do you mean? Do you think She-Hulk's gonna be Happy's lawyer?
I do think there'll be Matt Murdock versus She-Hulk in court.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's a slam dunk right there.
I don't like that they didn't prove that he was innocent though. Like I like it, but I don't like it at the same time.
Yeah, they do
Because
kind
it's
of
just like it's such a Spider-Man thing, but I'm just like, but he didn't do it.
yeah, they brush over like the whole Mysterio shit very quickly in this movie.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like the consequences of having his identity revealed.
Yeah. And then the one thing that like also is kind of like not annoying, it annoys me about the people in the universe, in the MCU, not the MCU itself, is that like Spider-Man killed quote unquote killed Mysterio and it's such a problem he's a murderer, but it's like Iron Man, Black Widow, Captain America, Thor, like they go around killing people all the
They kill
time.
people
And
all the time.
so it's like, why is it such a big deal when Spider-Man does it? Why? Because it
Captain
was like
America was in
him
the
killing another
military.
hero. Yeah, and it's like why? Because he was killing an alleged hero that we knew nothing about, but meanwhile we knew Spider-Man for so long, and like he helped save half the universe. Like, really, you're not gonna take his word over some guy that just appeared? Like, that's my one. That's like my biggest problem with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I don't have a lot of problems with it because it's a good story. But at the same time, it's like really like that's who you're believing over Spider-Man. Like, come on. Like he fought with Iron Man at the airport.
Yeah.
Not that people probably don't know that, but also that one bitch was like, "Spider-Man hit me! Spider-Man hit me!" Shut the
Yeah.
fuck up! Like I wanted to hit her.
I love the one guy. I love the one guy that tried to jump on him as he was swinging away.
Yeah, there was a lot of laughs for that one. Also, I love the guy when they're at the school and he goes, "MJ, I love you. Are you gonna have this spider baby?" I was
So
dying. I was like,
creepy.
that is so weird. I like that Ned had his back though, and they're like, "MJ,
Yeah.
Peter, kiss," and he's like, "Yo, back off." I'd be like, "Yeah, yeah." And it's like Flash kind of had his back, but it was like half having his back. But it's still fun. Good movie.
Trying to think of other
I love
thoughts.
that Electro's personality entirely changed.
Entirely different character.
Entirely different character.
Just,
like he was using slang and shit. Not that he can't use slang, but it's just like he was such a dork. And then
yeah, he was which I kind of wish they kept that. Because like I like that he was just like a weird like goober in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And they were just like, no, let's make him cool.
I love that they acknowledged it though.
Yeah.
I love that Lizard was like, "You had a comb over."
I guess they kind of like give like a fake explanation where it's like he reformed with the new energy in the universe.
That makes sense.
But it's like give us the comb over and the the gap tooth.
My only other problem is like, why was Sandman fighting?
Because
like I know he just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like he was just being very difficult. I felt for like no reason. Especially once he saw Toby there, like he should have been like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
like why am I fighting him? Because like we ended on a good note, if I'm remembering correctly, right? Like they ended on a
Which I do like that. Like when you first see Sandman, he's like helping Peter.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like he did that, but then like at the end, it's like, okay, you do not recognize that suit as your Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like at the end, it didn't really make sense once Toby showed up. Not didn't make sense, but like it was just like it made less sense. But at the same time, he just wanted to go home. So like I understand both sides. But
you know who's great in this? Willem fucking Dafoe.
He was fantastic.
He is probably like my top MCU villain now.
Yeah.
He is insane in this movie. Like anytime he's on screen, like he's the most interesting character.
I agree. I really like that they saved Doc Ock though.
Yeah, that was
I
nice.
really like that because like it shows that he was really like he is a good guy. It's just like
Yeah.
it was the fucking tentacles.
I like seeing nice Doc Ock.
Yeah, it's fun.
He was great too, like
Yeah,
the entire time.
he did.
I wish they kept him shirtless though, like in Spider-Man 2. They copped out and put him in a turtleneck, but the
Oh yeah.
entire time in Spider-Man 2, he's shirtless. That's all I'm saying.
To be fair, if Electro could change his entire personality,
Well, what
Doc
Doc
Ock
Ock
can
picks
have
up
a
a
shirt
turtleneck
on.
on the way through.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
funny though, since I haven't seen those movies in so long, I didn't get some of the references. Then I was on TikTok and like old clips of like from Tobey Maguire's movies were coming up. And then when I saw it the second time, I was understanding like, oh, those are callbacks to
Yeah.
that. That's cool. Like it made more sense. Because like some of them I was like, okay, like there has to be something with that I'm just not getting. Like when he was like, I'm trying to do better, I was like, okay. Like still fine line, but okay. Like
Oh,
like
them
callback from when they first
yeah,
met.
them meeting that was a nice moment for me. Doc
Yeah.
Ock and Toby meeting again.
I really liked those two meeting, and I liked
Max and
Electro.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was great.
that was nice. That was really nice. He's like, you're just a kid.
He's like, I thought you were gonna be black, and he's like, oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I love it. He's like, you got nothing to apologize for. I was like, I love that he apologized. And you know, I got to hear more lines in this movie because like some of the reactions were so big or like the laughs were
Yeah.
like so much that I couldn't like I didn't hear Andrew Garfield apologize after he said that because it was funny. Um, so when he apologized, I was like, oh jeez.
Yeah. I think Andrew Garfield and Willem Dafoe are like the MVPs for this
I was gonna
movie.
say they're the standouts.
They're so good.
I really liked. I'm very ambiguous about the fact that Peter, like, yes, he picked up the glider, and I was like for him going to kill him and then being stopped, but he still went, even
Oh
when
yeah.
Toby was like blocking him. I was like, you're willing to go through another Peter Parker to kill him? Like that's kind of what bothered me is that he was willing to still kill.
Yeah.
Like he pushed it while Toby was there. Like that kind of bothered me. But I was like, he's also still just like an emotional kid. Like that's the one thing I just have to keep reminding myself is that he's not like if you compare the Spider-Man, I think Andrew's I think he was a little more mature
Yeah.
than this high school Peter. Which you'd think opposite because this Peter has been through Thanos.
Yeah.
That was also a good scene where he's like, I'm not gonna I don't want to brag, but I will. I was in the Avengers. Like, that's great. What is that? Is that a band? Are you in a band?
all
He just
the
calls him up. He's like, how is this helping us?
yeah, all the Spider-Man like interactions were top tier.
I love that they addressed the non-web shooter.
That was fun. That was fun. That's another thing that's like it's obvious, but like it was still a good scene.
Yeah, I love that he was just like, are you teasing me?
Yeah.
He's like, no, we just can't do it. So we're curious. And it was like such like a good like explanation too. He's like, I don't do breathing, it just happens.
Yeah. And the ending, that new suit he gets,
Very nice.
crisp.
Very shiny.
Yeah, it looks like the all new, all different, like the Parker
yes,
Industries
but
suit.
no.
Because it's got that same like shiny blue. In
Yes.
terms of color, it's the same.
Yeah, more or less. He doesn't have the glowing spider.
No, yeah, obviously, but it looks like he has like the Tobey Maguire symbol on his chest.
It looks like, in my opinion, like a combination of the two.
Yeah.
It looks more like Toby's though, in my opinion. But I think he like it looks like he took Toby's and made it his own. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that it's like a lot bigger.
Because
that's an issue
Spider-Man.
I haven't liked. Yeah. I like the red and black suit, like just the plain red and black suit.
That one I love.
That's a great suit.
Love that suit.
But this
I like it better than the new one.
This new red and blue one is just perfect. Like, because it's got. I like that the logo's big, and I feel like that's a problem that a lot of Tom Holland suits have.
Yeah, the logo's small.
He's got a tiny little logo on his chest.
I agree with that.
Um,
You know what suit I like a lot, except for the eyes? Amazing Spider-Man 1.
I go back and forth on that suit. I don't
It's
know.
really nice. It's just like if I like the eyes on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit better, I
Yeah,
think. But I just like I love the arms and how it like looks different than just like
yeah,
red
yeah.
gloves.
I think if the logo was like a lot darker on that suit, I would like it a lot more. But it's so like faint and hard to make out, like the actual
Yeah,
spider on his chest.
yeah.
That um, I also like. I feel like the webbing is too close together. I like when the webbing is a lot more spaced out. Like you have big blocks of red instead of like tiny
Oh,
little
okay,
ones.
I get what you're
But
saying.
that's just a personal thing. Um, like Toby. I still think Toby Maguire's suit is perfect.
I don't like how thick the lines are for the
I
webs.
I love that. Like
Don't like that at all.
I like that they're thick and like
I like it when they're subtle.
fair. Um, so in the spirit of this being our second Spider-Man review, I think I should offer my pitch for Spider-Man 4.
Is this also our 20th episode? Because that would.
Is it?
I'm gonna check right now. Hold on.
That'd be fun.
Because the last one was either 18 or 19.
Ooh, one of
Oh
my
shit.
final grades was just posted. Let's go.
A.
Well, I got a 94 on the essay. So
Nice.
view feedback. What did you
Oh
say?
no, it's not. There's a folder that popped up that said episode 20. So our
Oh, okay.
last one I think was, let's see, occasional bugle. Yeah, this is the 21st episode.
Okay.
We were so close.
So anyway, let me offer my pitch for MCU Spider-Man 4. I already talked to you about this a little bit, but for the listeners, so we have a few interesting elements. We have a sad Spider-Man. Finally, we have a black suit. People, from what I understand, know that there was a Green Goblin. We have a Ned Leeds, and more importantly, we have a Ned Leeds that doesn't know Peter Parker.
Right.
So, Spider-Man 4, main villain, Hobgoblin. Not Ned as the Hobgoblin. Get Roderick Kingsley, the man, the fashion designer slash mob boss. My favorite combo in Marvel Comics. Uh, get someone crazy to play him. Like my pick would be Robert Pattinson, but that's just because I wanted to play everything.
Okay.
He's got kind of a Willem Dafoe look about him,
He's also
Pattinson.
worked with him, so
That's true.
can take
And
from
he
that.
can play like manic and crazy. So get him to be Roderick Kingsley. So you have a Peter, an angry Peter who gets the black suit, gets angrier, and he goes like crazy, beating up a hobgoblin. Um, you can introduce Black Cat as well to kind of feed into like the bad boy Peter,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like your final showdown with Hobgoblin. But plot twist, big reveal: Roger Kingsley brainwashed Ned Leeds, like in the comics, to wear the Hobgoblin suit. So you have an angry symbiote Peter beating up his old friend who doesn't recognize him, and it's a real big sad moment. And he's like, maybe I should get rid of this black suit. Gets rid of the black suit. Maybe even like in the comics, goes to Reed Richards to get the black suit off. Maybe if we have Reed, I'm presuming we have Reed Richards by then.
Maybe he goes to Banner.
Could be.
Maybe he goes to Strange.
God. If I was Strange, I would want nothing to do with that kid ever again. um, yeah, I think because then you have a Peter who remembers Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin and everything he did, and you have this guy trying to replicate what that guy did, and he's like, I'm having none of this, coupled with him being angry, having a symbiote. you got yourself a upsetting Spider-Man movie.
That'd be pretty good.
Then post credits, let's say maybe Julia Louis-Dreyfus gets her hands on the detached symbiote, gives it to Matt Gargan. Dark Avengers. Because
Maybe.
Matt Gargan Venom was the Spider-Man in the Dark Avengers.
Right.
So
I'm down. I don't want them to do Venom in the symbiote suit in the same movie.
yeah, I think it should be spread out. I think it should be.
I think it's a lot to do in one movie.
I think he gets the symbiote in one movie. By the end, he loses it, and then, like, the following movie is someone else gets it.
Right.
Be that Eddie or Flash or Matt Gargan. I hope it's.
I kind of, now that you say Matt Gargan, because I don't know why it just never came, like it was never a thought in my brain, but I think I want Matt Gargan over Eddie.
In the MCU, I definitely want Mac over Eddie.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Not Flash.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Sony tries to get their hooks into Scorpion sooner, though, because they're gonna try to do Sinister Six again.
Just stop.
Because
Pascal, stop being a moron.
They have Vulture. They have Dr. Michael Morbius, the living vampire, at your service. They have a Scorpion. They have a Venom, if they want to use a Venom in the Sinister Six. And they could bring in, like, Kraven, Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm so excited for whatever the fuck Sony is doing. Just their absolute madhouse universe.
I don't want to think about it.
I'm so excited.
I don't want to think about it. I just want to see Morbius because, well, I also think I don't know why. I like the visual. I like the VFX of it so far, but I also just want to know why Vulture is there and how is that connected.
It's frustrating because, like, Morbius as a movie, like, it looks interesting. It looks good.
But you just hate Jared Leto.
I can't stand Jared Leto. And I hate that he's in this movie. And I think if Marvel has any sense at all, they will not bring him into the MCU.
I hope not.
Because James Gunn also hates Jared Leto.
Does he actually?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, James Gunn is like allegedly done after Guardians 3.
Yeah. Which hopefully he goes and does more stuff with DC.
Yeah. Also, although though, I think, I don't know if I want a Suicide Squad sequel.
I do.
I mean, I do, but I don't, because like it was so.
I don't want a sequel. I just want, like, do another, like James Gunn does another unconnected Suicide Squad movie with a whole new team. Just, like, serialize the hell out of it, like make them kind of unconnected.
You mean like unconnected but connected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Have your constants like Amanda Waller, but like change the team up every time.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, just get new people, but
yeah.
I just mean like I don't want to like a direct sequel because like that movie is so good on its own.
Yeah.
I feel like
well, apparently, really one. According to James Gunn, Peacemaker is basically a sequel to the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
So.
That's fair. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited for Peacemaker. January 13th.
I don't like Peacemaker. He killed Rick Flag. Fucker.
I miss Rick Flag.
So do I.
That movie was so good.
That movie was so good.
Man. Suicide Squad. Any other Spider-Man thoughts? Oh, we didn't even talk about Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
We got a whole ass trailer for it.
Yeah, I know.
It looks fantastic. It looks so good.
I like that we're going to get 3 Benedicts.
I think we are getting 3 Benedicts.
By that, I meant Benedict Wong.
I think we're getting 3 Doctor Stranges in this movie.
That would make sense because, like, the costume.
Yeah, so we have regular, like, 616 Stephen Strange. We have What If Spooky Stephen Strange. And we have the Defender Stephen Strange. Because I sent you that because
yes.
I was excited that he has new costumes, but I think that's a variant Doctor Strange.
And you see that one in the trailer briefly.
Yeah, with the ponytail.
He was like spinning around, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a ponytail.
I think it's going to be a great way to show how good of an actor Benedict Cumberbatch
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I think Defender Strange will be British.
That'd be
I
cool.
have nothing to base that on, but I think he will be. I
That'd be
think
cool.
he's going to be more like the comic book like mystic Doctor Strange. That's what I think anyway. Um
I like that he's not going there to be like, Wanda, you bad, bad Wanda. Like he's like, no, I need your help. I
yeah,
still don't understand why America Chavez is being put into this.
because multiverse stuff.
What does she have to do with that?
Her power is she can like jump between dimensions.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know nothing about her. That's why I was like, why the fuck is she here?
And presumably to set up new Avengers even more or young Avengers.
No, I don't want her. I don't care about her.
Okay.
I don't care about America Chavez.
It's gonna be her. It's gonna be Kate Bishop. It's gonna be young Loki. It's gonna be Wanda's fucked up kids. It's gonna be fucking Kang, Iron Lad. What's his name?
Yeah.
um, although
See
it could be Harley.
what? Oh,
Harley
Harley
Keener,
Kiner. Yeah.
my
I
boy.
still my theory is that he is a ascendant of Kang. I don't think he's Kang. I think he's like Kang's like grandpa or some shit.
I was gonna say, yeah, you definitely can't be Kang.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like I think he's
yeah,
like Kang is his descendant. But
yeah.
also we've met Kang.
We've met we've met a version of Nathaniel Richards. We
So
haven't
people
met,
say he's Nathaniel Richards.
but like, what's the point in changing that?
Is
Like,
he
what he's
actually
a
Nathaniel Richards in the comics?
yeah.
I don't know. I knew that there was a version of Kang that was out. I didn't know if that was like the main Kang.
Yeah, they're all Nathaniel Richards.
Didn't know. Interesting. But the one thing I hope, because Miss Marvel's got to be on Young Avengers, right? But
Yep.
my thing that makes no sense is that she's like 14, and you have Kate Bishop who's like 22.
Yeah.
That makes zero sense to have a 14-year-old run around with a bunch of young adults.
Well, how old are Wanda's kids? Are like 10.
Yes, but that's what that was my next point. Is that I paused. My bad.
I think you can have some age variation.
I I get that, but I'm hoping that they don't age up Wanda the Maximoffs. I hope they don't age them up to Kate Bishop's age. I hope they
I
put
don't
them
think they
in
will.
between Miss Marvel
Yeah.
and Kate Bishop. In that way you have like
Yeah.
a broad range of age. And then Patriots like I think somewhere in between
Oh,
them
I
too.
forgot about Patriot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's like somewhere in between them too. So it's like a good little like
Yeah.
range
I like that they're
of
not all just
age.
the same age. Yeah.
I kind of like that too, but at the same time, I think it would be weird just to have like a 14, 15-year-old running around with a bunch of adults. I although Spider-Man was doing that,
Yeah. I mean,
but
presumably like Kate Bishop. I assume Kate Bishop will be like kind of a leader.
oh, I hope so.
Yeah. And I also
I
think
think
I think White Vision will come and
I
hang
don't
out
think
with
he'll be
them.
on the Young Avengers.
I think he'll hang out with them.
Maybe
He'll be
maybe
like
he'll
their
learn more feelings.
yeah, he'll be like their like handler. Like Red Tornado with Young
I was
Justice is what
literally
I'm
about to
imagining. Yeah.
say that. Yeah, he'll be like the
Yeah.
Ben mother, but
Yeah.
they got to do something with White Vision first.
Yeah.
Who knows when we're gonna see him again?
He's just hanging out, thinking about ships.
He's on the moon.
I hope so. I hope someone's
Captain
on the moon
America.
because they keep talking about the moon, and there's a lot of talk about the moon for nobody to be on the moon.
Inhumans. They live on the moon.
I don't care about the Inhumans at all.
I know you don't. I said it because I knew you.
I
Yeah,
hope the
I knew
watcher.
I'd get a reaction.
I hope the Watcher's on the moon, and I hope they
Watcher.
do. I hope they do Original Sin, and they do Who Killed the Watcher. Spoiler alert: Nick Fury killed the Watcher, and now Nick Fury's the Watcher, and Winter Soldier is the new Nick Fury. It's a good comic. I like that.
I love too that they mentioned that Nick Fury's been off planet, and like
Yeah, that
people
was funny.
know.
That's
I
funny.
didn't
Yeah.
think anyone knew, and that the government knows, and it's like, oh shit.
Well, I don't think they know about the scrolls. I think they just know like Nick Fury hasn't been on Earth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they
Yeah.
know where Nick Fury is.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like Peter didn't know.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Good times.
And I love his. He was like, "What?" And then I'm like, "Are we?" And then like nothing else said. I was like, "Did we really just like glance over that revelation?"
Yeah.
Like that was like a big thing of like the last movie, and we're just like, "Oh, Peter knows that he's not here now."
Yeah. I think we're gonna get some crazy multiverse like cameos in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, yeah. They said that they were doing reshoots
Yeah. I
recently,
think
and I heard a rumor that we're getting a shit ton.
I think we'll get Patrick Stewart. I think we'll get a Magneto, probably Fassbender. But I would prefer Ian McKellen if you're doing Patrick Stewart.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna do that
Yeah.
one, do the other. But
Yeah.
if we're gonna get one to go into the MCU, I want Fassbender.
My biggest hope in the world is that we get Johan Grufford as Mr. Fantastic again.
I didn't know his name.
I
He did fine.
I have a soft spot for those Fantastic Four movies, so I'm dying to see him back. I saw another rumor that Rachel McAdams is playing a variant of Rachel Palmer. If no, Christine Palmer.
Is
Uh,
that's
that's
Doctor
that
Strange's?
yeah, but the variant is going to be Clea.
What the fuck is Cleo?
She's like
Remind me.
and she's like another magic lady from the comics who
Okay,
Strange is romantically involved with.
interesting.
So, um, yeah, I hope we get Tom Cruise Iron Man too.
No,
I want that.
no.
I want that.
Um,
Chris Evans Human Torch, obviously. I mean that's a no
you think
brainer.
he would do it?
100%, 1,000% he would do it if they're like, "Do you want to come back for like 5 minutes to do a cameo?"
Maybe. I wonder if we'll get any like revelations. Like it'll show current characters. Like maybe it'll show like Harley as Iron Lad.
Yeah,
It won't bring. It won't like maybe they won't bring another Harley, but we'll be like, oh, that's who he is gonna
yeah.
be. Like, oh, we're gonna see that soon. You know. I wonder if he's gonna be in Armor Wars. If you're gonna
I would
introduce
assume so.
Ironheart, you might as well.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be in Armor Wars.
Um,
Another day without a confirmation that Justin Hammer is in Armor Wars, which scares the hell out of me.
um, one thing I didn't like about Hawkeye, it's random, post credit scene. It was fun,
I
but
loved
it
it.
did nothing for me.
I don't know.
I was disappointed. I was like, is this really all we're doing?
Yeah, like not everything needs to be like, and here's the next thing. But like,
Well,
this is
that's
fun.
not what I want, Andrew.
I love the musical.
No, no, it was fun.
It was a good time.
My only problem with it is that we saw like half of it already.
That's true. Yeah.
That was why I was like, you're not gonna give. I was like, one, I don't want the full performance. Two, you already showed me half of it. So I thought they would show like all of like the entire family like in the audience, or maybe even like Yelena in the audience watching it.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. Her whole thing with Kate Bishop was such a good scene. It's my
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
time
Very
in New
good.
York.
Do we have any other thoughts about anything before we
I do not.
call it? Where does Spider-Man rank in your overall MCU?
High up there. Well, I'm biased because I mean, hold on,
Yeah.
hold on, hold on. There.
It's definitely right near the top for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Um, I think it is one of the better movies they've made.
yeah,
I don't know how successful it would have been if the other Spider-Man weren't in it.
it would have been successful.
I mean, it would have been, but it would have been like I don't know. Because some movies, you know, how they're good because of like what happens in them. Oh, I mean, that's any movie. But I mean, like people like Infinity War was so good because it was like a lot of people just like it because everyone came together. Same thing
That's
about
true.
Endgame. A lot of people like it because everyone came together, and I'm worried that people are gonna like No Way Home's a great movie, but is it gonna be everyone's favorite because all the Spider-Man came together? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's what I'm
that's
trying to
fair.
figure out for myself. Is it my favorite because I got all three Spider-Men, or
I do think it is like thematically satisfying,
I agree.
like on its own. I think it's a solid movie.
I think it might be tied with top for Winter Soldier right now.
Yeah, I think it's tied with the top for Civil War with me. Civil War is
It's a great movie.
it's a banger.
Just could have been better.
I think Loki is number 3 for me.
That's not a movie.
It's an MCU.
Okay, MCU property, sure.
Hawkeye is sitting right in the middle of the pile for me.
I can't figure out what's my favorite show because WandaVision is like I feel like it's not a rewatchable thing.
WandaVision was probably the most fun to watch just because of like it was fun to like make theories and stuff.
I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is my favorite. So.
Yeah. For me it's 100% Loki.
That was a good one. I remember hating the first episode. Been watching it again. I was like, okay, fine.
All right. Well, we don't have anything else to add. Until next time.